Hello, everyone! Yes, it is me, Caleb, back with another video. I am finally back with another video after so long. I think it has been like, what, 3, 4 months? Something like that, which is, I know, pretty crazy. And I know that I keep on making excuses. And honestly, guys, I know you probably guys are fed up with it, but it's just that I've been wanting to do a video for quite some time now, and I kind of stopped doing my Let's Play over FF8. I know that was kind of doing well, but um I um I kind of wanted to play that game on my own and stuff like that. And honestly, I think that kind of goes with a lot of other games, because frankly, I don't have I do enjoy playing them while also making videos. I do. But I think I enjoy them more if I play them by myself, and that is why I kind of stopped making gameplay videos and all that stuff, and that's why you haven't been seeing those type of videos. Um but the reason as a whole of why I haven't been making videos in such a long time is due to for one, school. Obviously that was a big one. Um and in the summer, right, I should be making more videos. Well, that's not until me and my family had to do a big project, one that involved building something big. So I was very occupied, and I just I just couldn't find the time, you know. But with that being said, I have been wanting this video to be out there for so long, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I've been wanting this video. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time for you guys, and that's what we're gonna do. And so to give you guys a bit of context of this video, one, I'm pretty sure all of you have known that if you have checked out my unveil page, or haven't, I do have an unveil page, which I like to go out of my way to upload my characters, my OCs, my worlds, everything like that. Um, and so one of them is Field of Frights, and obviously the main character of Field of Frights is Olive, and which Olive, well, Field of Frights as a whole is based off both of some of my best media that I love, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you watching probably love as well, which is the Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones. Uh, Field of Fright is kind of based on both of those. Kind of the setting behind it, the theme is kind of around Murder Drones a little bit, and then Olive is kind of based off of Pomni from the Amazing Digital Circus and stuff like that. So, and as if you know, this month marked the finale of the Amazing Digital Circus, and and this month also marked a lot of big gaming events like Summer Game Fest, State of Play, all of that. And so, in commemoration of all of that, I have picked a really cool Battle Buster debate, which is going to be all of Scarlet, main character of Field of Frights, versus Leo from a interesting game series called Armed with Wings. Um, it's basically indie show main character versus video game main character. I thought I've been wanting to do like specific matchups for my OCs, and Olive is definitely is one of my most powerful OCs ever. And so I really wanted to make a match for her. And what better time to do it now in the end of the month where both video games and the very media that Field of Frights and Olive was based on kind of have their huge finales, right? And obviously, this the Amazing Digital Circus is still being talked about. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll go ahead and do this matchup for you guys. Um, I will be planning on doing more stuff in the future. I promise, guys. Um, but for now, I want to go ahead and do this one because I think this is a really cool matchup that I really want to do for you. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me tell me in those comments below if you liked it. If you like this episode, well, this video, uh, tell me if I had anything wrong, if there was anything I missed, if you disagree with the winner. But without further ado, let's not get babbling. Let's get into this debate. So first, we'll be talking about Leo. And as with everything, there is a little bit of this, background on that. See the dog barking in the background. So here's Leo. So Armed with Wings as a whole, right? It is it's a world quite like ours, but very different. There's this rebel army that wages war on a tyrant king named Vandir Lorde. The leader of this army was someone called the Lone Warrior. They're just called the Lone Warrior for some reason, who fought against Vandir and his forces. But unfortunately, he met his end against the tyrant king. He died by Vandir, and for 5 years he was in the 5 years the world was ruled by Vandir. But this was not the end of the Lone Warrior because he would be resurrected. The Lone Warrior would be resurrected 5 years later, being chosen by the Black Mist. You're gonna hear that word a lot, Black Mist. Um, he became the chosen one, called Armed with Wings. Hence the name. The Lone Warrior would then face Vandir once again, and he came victorious, but was unfortunately not able to kill Vandir at that moment. Now, to give a little bit of explanation on the Black Mist, because you're going to hear that a lot in this video. The Black Mist is basically a sentient, benevolent force that shapes itself as a supernatural life force slash matter that composes everyone and everything in the universe. Basically, the Black Mist is like a deity, but also a matter such a life force that is literally everyone and everything. It is the universe and composed of everything. It's a little bit weird. I said the entity created everything. It created humans, and humans are also made of black mist. And black mist is everywhere in the universe. So when someone dies in this universe, they return to the black mist as black mist because everything is black mist. That is the gist of that. So, Vandir had retreated because he wanted to go find a way to kill the lone warrior. So he seeks out the blades of Enden, a weapon when combined can destroy someone of their black mist, regardless of their immortality. So he kills the general of the rebel army that he once has faced. He kind of goes along with his former subjects, Ivana and Hawken. But Hawken would eventually betray Vandir due to some tension. And eventually Vandir gets the blade, the combined blade of Eden, and confronts the Lone Warrior. The two, again, would go in a huge battle again. Uh, you know, the Lone Warrior wins due to becoming literally the Black Mist, being the arm with wings. The Alarm had turned tides by sealing away Vandir in a light prison. But the Lone Warrior was then confronted by an ancient evil called Network. Network is basically the Yang to the Black Mist Yin. They're basically like two forces that are equally powerful, and the Lone Warrior and Network had basically a never-ending battle. But in the midst of that battle, Aviana was being pregnant by the Black Mist and was given a child to live a happy life. And they were living a happy life in a village with many people until a general named Gaz kidnaps the village people and his mom. So this is Leo now. So Leo must now, in short, Leo must now learns how to handle his life force power, learn some new martial arts. He eventually kills Gauss, but then is confronted by Network. The Lone Warrior kind of fails to defeat Network, but the Lone Warrior trains Leo in order to stop Network. Leo learns the truth that basically the Black Mist had made him, so he is now the chosen arm with wings, and he eventually defeats Black Mist along with Vandir, who the network tried to release as well. So that is kind of the full background of Leo and Arm with Wings. So now let's go with AP. Let's start with Leo. Obviously, like I said, we're starting with Leo, so let's go with AP. Uh, in base, there's not much. There's only like one multi-city block feat due to pulverization of these giant rocks. Now, what you see right here is actually the Lone Warrior. He manages to like release an energy strike that completely evaporates this huge uh, boulder right here, which actually gets to a multi-city block level yield. And that's basically for every character because Leo has shown to actually just for being for a child due to his age, he was still on par with a lot of the characters. So in base, without the arm with wings, he should be a multi-city block level character. But because Leo is the one called arm with wings, he has all the powers of the Black Mist and should scale to Black Mist. Now, because Black Mist is the universe itself, it created everything. It is the universe. Um, there is there is a statement saying how there is limitless blackness, so that kind of gets into like a high universal level yield. Um, and like I said, Leo does defeat Network. He actually defeats Network that was trying to fuse with Vandir, who both of them were trying to consume everything in the universe. But then Leo came in as the chosen arm with wings, and he basically he defeated the merged two effortlessly. He just he ended them with one strike, and that was it for them. So high universal, easily defeated Network. He's very very strong. Now, speed's easy. He should be comparable to his mom, who can casually dodge Vandir's lightning attacks, which gets into massively hypersonic. But it gets worse. Well, not worse, but like it really ramps up in speed because since blackness is literally everything in the universe, it is the universe itself. By becoming the one chosen arm with wings, Leo technically exists everywhere. So he's omnipresent. So that means he's able to exist everywhere and be everywhere. Which might be problematic for our Scarecrow Girl. But let's keep going. So in terms of powers and abilities, every person, well, maybe not every person, but due to being black, to the nature of Black Mist, Leo can basically resurrect, and he will still continue to live as long as Black Mist exists. So he does have immortality due to that. But besides that, he is a master swordsman. He's been trained by his mom. He learned martial art from a blacksmith apparently. I don't know how that works, but he does. And of course, every person kind of has like their own like life force ability. He can so he can utilize energy, and he can also manipulate ice, like conjure ice projectiles and stuff like that. Um, you know, use like energy projectiles and stuff like that. He can also heal himself with his life force energy. He can teleport. He can control like an eagle to help him with things like surveillance and all that. But when we get to the Black Mist powers, because that's all his base abilities. But with Black Mist, he can then manipulate light, darkness. He can manipulate matter. Because of Black Mist, he can manipulate Black Mist, which is also described to be like a matter that everything. Since everything is composed of Black Mist, Black Mist can also manipulate matter as well. Which I'm assuming on the probably maybe on the quantum level, if I had to say. And he also has sealing as uh when the lone warrior was the arm with wings, he sealed Van Deer in a like light prison. So he has also sealing. He also has biological soul and power. He can also bestow powers as black mist can affect living beings. Apparently can absorb souls, and it can grant the ability of blackness to others. It can also emit an aura of light and can create anything like weapons and force fields. You can also interact with life force, soul, elements of light and dark, and blackness itself. Uh, he also has resurrection. He can apparently revive his mom and Lone Warrior after they die. They both died to Network and Van Deer when they merged. And Leo just instantly resurrected them. So he's very strong. Flight as every arm with wings, because they're called arm with wings, they have like little light wings are coming out. So they don't actually show like they can fly, but I think he can fly. I mean, that's just um, um, what they can do. And like I said, uh, omniscience, because everything's created by blackness, they should Leo should be able to like know everything about the universe and stuff like that. So yeah, that is it for Leo. Leo is very strong. Arm with Wings, I think, is a very interesting pairing, and the reason why I really wanted to pair these two is that both are like both are young, um, both are young people who uh like they want to live their lives in like in a peaceful village or and stuff like that. But like when there are malevolent forces trying to ruin their peace, they kind of have to step up and face not only like a not like not a narcissist, but like a benevolent like ruler and dictator. It's like they have both achieved great amounts of power. They basically become the chosen one, and they have to defeat like the greater godly evil in both their series. And you'll know what I'm talking about. And because we are now going to all of Scarlet. Now before I probably should have mentioned this with Arm with Wings, but spoilers for Field of Frights. If you don't want to get kind of like spoiled or anything like that, I do have Unveil now. If you don't know what Unveil is basically a art platform where you can put out your OCs, your art, your sketches, your worlds that you've created, anything like that, into like your own like kind of like home page where you can like put out everything. It's really cool. I do have an Unveil page called Weasel King. If you want to kind of like get the gist of what Field of Frights is and who Olive is, who the characters are in this universe, I recommend checking out that before going into this video. But of course, if you don't, care about that type of stuff and you just want me to explain, well, here we are. So we're gonna get into Olive, 15 female, classification Scarecrow, Paladin Scarecrow specifically, member of Squad 4, and she is known as the chosen Paladin of Life, which is later in the series as she will figure out. And obviously her origin is Field of Frights. So this is Olive's background. Now this is kind of the same background I used for the Unveil, um, my Unveil page. Now just to give like a really quick summary, uh, Olive Scarlet is a scarecrow who was in a static pod for many years. And obviously, when she wakes up, she's very confused. She's very frightened because she doesn't know like what happened to her like before she was like put in a static pod. And um, when she finds out when like even though Earth basically looks the same, now there are now these crazy puppets who want to eat scarecrows because they're just hungry, right? And when she wakes up, she's attacked by a few of them, and she's able to still like stand up even when they were like slashing at her body and whatnot, right? And and obviously she was finding that there was like scarecrows that rescued her and kind of told her the gist of like, oh, scarecrows like uh you know puppets came here to eat humans, and after that um the scarecrows came and they're like, okay, but you know what, let's we'll also murder. Sorry about that, guys. And so yeah, Olive uh figured out that scarecrows also apparently murder humans, but now they're being hunted by puppets now. Uh and of course it leaves Olive very confused as to, wait, okay, but then how did we get to this world, right? Like, how did Scarecrow came to be? And so she ends up in Trouble Season, where it's like the one of the main cities of scarecrows in the world right now, and uh, she tries to get along with her new Squad Four. She deals with kind of like puppet threats, and eventually, uh, a very scary cosmic threat. Now, in terms of AP, we'll kind of like skim through some stuff, but she should be easily comparable to her other members of Squad Four. Um, she's able to keep up with uh she's able to match the AP of the shockwaves created by Rhyme's Iron Sand. Rhyme is a puppet that can control Iron Sand, and these shockwaves were able to like basically crumble the mountaintops of several mountains to a such a large degree that it kind of like created like avalanches simultaneously. So I guess like a large mountain um to almost island level, but she does get to island level to maybe even large island level because of Marble. Marble is able to create. Marble is able to shoot water and fire, and this water was able to like cause like tectonic, not tectonic, but like plates in the earth like crack, and so she's able to like match Marble with these fire and water attacks. So she gets into those. She gets into those maybe even country levels in base. Um, but it gets more crazy towards the more like latter half of the series where uh um Olive, Edgar, and the rest of Squad Four, they go to the Stitch Realm, right? And they have to face more puppets that can like throw these giant needles, and these giant needles can like pierce through like uh regular sized planets like the Earth instantly, and just like crack in their pieces like are like blown off in a great distance. So this gets up to like a dwarf star level yield. But not only that, she faces Mother Kara. Mother Kara is basically like she's kind of like Belden from Coraline. She's like the mother, but mother of all puppets though. And she can create like she can create pocket dimensions that are filled with like stars and all that. And she kind of created like a nova burst within that pocket dimension. And Olive can actually match like the her attacks with that nova burst, and so and also it could have destroyed uh the shockwaves from their attacks could have destroyed a galaxy within the Stitch realm, which is crazy. So this gets around to like solar system, but also to like galaxy level. But at her peak, she's able to because she's a chosen paladin, uh scarecrow. She has the natural fertility powers. Um, I'll get into those later, but she faced a character called Ainwin, who has the atrocity demise powers, which are basically kind of like the opposite equal to the natural fertility powers. And at their peak, Olive can stop Ainwin from merging three space-time continuums into one. And one of those universes is stated to be infinite, which is the Stitch Realm. The Stitch Realm is infinite in size. Um, and Olive was able to stop her and completely like kill her at the end of the series. Um, so in short, speed massively faster than light, close to 32 to 100,000 times the speed of light because due to those giant needles, she was able to deflect those needles, which are impressive because the the rate at how fast they're moving through the Stitch realm in order to pierce through the planets is very fast. So and she's able to like deflect them and like react to like dodge them. So she is like tens of thousands of times speed of light, like massively faster than the speed of light. So she's very fast. Now in terms of abilities, she's very durable. Obviously, scarecrows have been known to like tank stuff and just still be alive, which is crazy. Um, they don't. They can. Paladins, scarecrows, not normal scarecrows. Paladins are able to regenerate like internal damage, like piercing, like giant holes being pierced their body. Um, they can see in the night. They can see souls. Um, like specifically other scarecrow souls and puppet souls, which is pretty impressive. Um, they can camouflage themselves and masters of kind of like murder drones with the where the disassembly drones can like pop out weapons out of their like hands or whatever. They do the same. They can pull out scissor blades, sickles, pitchforks, scythes, spears, and smoke monsters. Um, yeah. Uh, And paladins have all scarecrows have this ability called the Reaper Glare, where they can create like illusions and cause fear to those to like kind of like stop them in their tracks. Paladins have like an upgraded version of that glare, where they can also kind of like warp the perception of others and create like more like influential illusions to trap others. Um, they can physically interact with the soul, which is also in this universe. The soul is also the consciousness of the mind um, uh, of puppets, and because paladins are specifically made to combat the puppets, they can negate their immortality, which includes being able to transfer their puppets are able to transfer their soul into other bodies so they can keep living. Paladins can negate that. They also can negate their regeneration, which is also comparable to paladins, and they can completely erase their soul. Completely, that way their soul cannot continue being transferred to the consciousness. Um, supernatural willpower. Olive is incredibly, even though she's very scared at the puppets at first, she is able to just fight through um, them and just keep going no matter what. She's incredibly acrobatic. She's actually a master hand-to-hand combatant. Um, she can move on instinct, like uh, to save her friend. She's done that multiple times, in order to save her friends out of puppets harm. Uh, but Olive's main ability is to manipulate wind and air. She can use it to strike her enemies, push them away. She can sense the presence of others through air currents. She can nullify attacks. She can create a wind aura around her that can also act as a barrier. So there's that. But at the latter half of the series, uh, a scarecrow can have a power awakening. And in this case, Olive has more control of her air manipulation. So then she can also levitate in the air. She can fly using like a glider stand using wind currents. I think that's pretty cool. She can also conjure shock waves. She can also create tornadoes at will with her wind. Um, but that's just her wind manipulation. Because then we get into her natural fertility powers, and that's going to come into play uh, um, soon. So, what natural fertility powers? Natural fertility powers are basically like the conceptual manipulation of life and nurture. It is the very essence of like. Sorry, as I was trying to say, the natural fertility powers are is the very conceptual, like
abstract concept of life and nurture. It is basically like the very existence of giving nurture to life, right? And this is uh and all of this power comes from a god, and this god plays a part in kind of the whole, I guess, secret that the scarecrows are hiding within the series. Um, but basically, with the natural fertility powers, um, Olive is granted enhanced extrasensory perception. She's more aware of her surroundings. She can detect life signatures, whether or not someone is alive or not. She's able to purify puppet corruption. And of course, the very base ability of the natural fertility powers is conceptual manipulation and life manipulation as well. And she can basically create anything that she kind of like puts her mind into, which is insane. And continuing, she is also can create cell singularities, um, which then can unleash any type of plant life, and it can also transmute any organic material into plant life itself. So you don't want to touch it for sure. She can heal like broken parts and battle wounds that really can't be regenerated. She can like make others lose their will to fight, as she did with like puppets that Aemon has summoned. She can create weapons out of plants. She can create like tendrils for additional limbs. She can seal things in giant pumpkins, which I think is that's pretty cute. And also, she can just duplicate all of this at any time. She can create force fields out of like wooden like out of wood and stuff like that. She can also like construct like giant nature mechs and also like make them make them gigantic, which I think is pretty cool. Um, she has molecular matter manipulation. She can directly affect the molecular structure of someone and just negate their defense. She can manipulate space time, as she was able to reverse the effects of anyone trying to merge three space time continuums. She can fully kill off Aenwyn, uh, and Aenwyn is able to literally regenerate from just her soul. She basically cannot be killed as long as her soul was still alive, and Aemwyn's soul is basically kind of like the collective consciousness of every soul of every puppet within the Stitch realm. So within this realm, uh, Aemwyn basically could not die, but Olive eventually did manage to kill Aemon. So she has like low godly negation. She can negate types 4 and 8 immortality. She can physically interact with memory and life force, and she can also fuse souls together and destroy them all at once in order to fully defeat foes just like Aemon. And now in terms of resistances, due to scarecrows not being made of inorganic material, they're kind of resistant to biological mutations or diseases. Scarecrows are unaffected by each other's Reaper glare. She can resist the thread tear ability that puppets have uh that would allow others to like be controlled like a puppet, or eventually be corrupted of their soul and mind. Uh, and they also can remove souls, which Olive has resisted. She literally had a spear through her for a long time with that ability, and she was still fine. She has resisted Rhyme's Iron Sand, which is poisonous. Um, she can stop a puppet spirit soul from like possessing her body. She can resist having her regeneration negated by these things called claw puppets, which can literally bite off scarecrows to the point where they can't even regenerate their limbs. Um, she Olive can still move by Marble's ability that can shoot fire and water, as I said before. But getting hit by Marble's fire and water can also cause like you to just be like stop in motion, and and also like Marble can change the temperature and heat of this fire and water, but Olive can still move and fight her without no problem. She's resistant memory emulation, as Mother Kara was trying to like kind of like go through her memories and trying to like forced her to like relive them or try to like trap her, but she was able to resist it. Magnetism, which is not a huge deal against Leo, but more importantly, she has resisted conceptual manipulation by Awen's atrocity demise powers, which is literally the conceptual manipulation of like death and decay. So she has resisted death manipulation and deconstruction of her like atoms and stuff. Um, Corrosion, biological, enhanced biological, life force absorption, and madness, and sealing. More stuff that the atrocity demise powers has that Olive can just resist. Existence erasure wasn't able to be erased by Awen. Awen can literally erase people from existence. Didn't work on Olive, and obviously space time because Olive is like right in the middle of like the merging of three universes with like no effect to her. So Olive is a very powerful. Olive is very powerful. So with everything they have in mind, who is going to take this? Now, based on their summaries, I think it's clear to say, with their advantages, is that Leo, due to being Black Mist itself, Leo will always be faster than Olive. Olive is, like probably more than 100,000 times faster than light, but Olive just doesn't have the speed in order to like counteract like being able to exist everywhere in the universe. That's just not going to happen. And of course, Leo is has teleportation, which is something that Olive does not have, and obviously, Leo is going to be hard to kill due to Black Mist being able to just bring him back all the time. Um, but Olive just has way more advantages. Well, maybe not like way more, but like she is obviously one is more powerful than Leo. Being able to scale to three universes instead of just one, and one of the universes, the Stitch Realm, was stated to be infinite in size. So I think that's just a more scope of power than Leo ever had. Um, Olive has definitely way more abilities that she can just use and broader hacks. Like her hacks is her conceptual manipulation, being able to like directly target life itself and like um the soul kind of a universe kind of makes me think that like uh she can just affect Black Mist conceptually and negate the immortality of Leo. Like basic, well, not basic, but like regular paladins can negate the immortality of puppets, and puppets can literally like they're undead. They can, well, they're not undead, but they can possess undead corpses. They can transfer their soul to other bodies, and they can regenerate so much. But even paladins themselves can just negate that and can erase souls. So it's going to be very tough for Leo, even with Black Mist, to just deal with the amount of like hacks that Olive has. Uh, and even with the disadvantage that like that Olive will always be like outblitzed by Leo because he's able to exist everywhere. Leo is just weaker, has less abilities than Olive, and his immortality is able to get negated. And uh, because he cannot resist his immortality being negated. I mean, after all, that was the whole point of Van Deer trying to get the blades of Eden, as it was the only thing that can really negate the Black Mist, right? Uh and I looked through all the Armed with Wing games. They cannot resist the blade. The blade does kill you. And the only reason why it didn't work is because Vandir wasn't able to actually like utilize it. But if it did, obviously it would have killed the lone warrior, because lone warrior is Black Mist. So and it has stated to be able to like destroy the Black Mist of someone, so like negate their immortality. um and Leo does not have a resistance to that, so Olive would be able to exploit that and just be able to finish off Leo, just like how Olive finished off Awen in their last confrontation. So the winner is Olive Scarlet. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. Like I said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This has been a long time coming. I know it took me a while for this one to make. But like I said, I have been busy for a while. Um and honestly, like I cannot believe that it has taken me this long. But I hope that you guys still enjoyed, and I will be trying my best to also put out more stuff like this, because I definitely do want to showcase more of my OCs to all of you. Um, and let me know in those comments below, like, if you have checked out my Unveil account, like, which characters would you like to see, uh, as on a video like this? Because I mean, I would definitely do it. I would definitely do that, when I have the time and when I can put it out. But, um, all that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope everyone has a good day. I will see you guys next time whenever I can. But all that being said, peace out. Bye bye.